Sarkozy from jail pending an appeal. He was convicted over allegations that he sought funding from late Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi for his 2007 election campaign. From bureaus worldwide, this is FSA.
From the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy, Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports. Welcome to a Monday, the 10th day of November for 2025. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic, ready to start your day the right way with all of your news, weather, and sports that you need to get out the door here this morning. Got a ton to talk about, as usual, for a Monday. The new AP College football poll is out. Ohio State continues to be ranked number one. The Buckeyes now 9-0 in the season after their win Saturday over Purdue at 34-10. The Nebraska football team now 7-3 in the season. They beat UCLA on Saturday by a score of 28-21. Got some post-game comments coming up from Husker head coach Matt Rule. The Nebraska volleyball team, they did what they have been doing all season long, and that's winning over Big Ten opponents. They sweep another one on Saturday as they knock off Minnesota in 3 games up in Minneapolis. The Nebraska men's basketball team now 2-0 in the season. They beat Florida International on Saturday. The Nebraska women's basketball team now 2-0. They knocked off Samford on Saturday by a score of 80-46. Hastings College men's basketball team picking up their first win of the season over the weekend. Hastings College women's soccer team went into overtime on Saturday, beat Concordia by the score of 2-1 in the GPAC tournament. So Hastings will play Dordt for the championship coming up on Wednesday. The UNK men's and women's basketball teams were in action over the weekend. Volleyball team also in action. We've got the state volleyball tournament wrapping up in Lincoln over the weekend, and the semifinals are now set in the state high school football playoffs. So all that and more coming up here this morning as you wake up with Mike and Tyson. We'll update you on Survivor and the Blazing Five here this morning. So, my man, boy, it's been a busy weekend. Where do we start here this morning?
Maybe with the fact that I've got to go to the show with the blanket on today. Freezing outside this morning. We got the windows probably directly facing the wind, so that's not helping. But it is blowing here into the studio. We got the furnace on and kicking, but yeah, you're just going to hear that as a constant. Cold start to the day. Not a cold start for the Blazing Five. Let's start there because I want to brag a little bit. After 2 dismal weekends of Blazing Five activity, it seems like we finally came out of hibernation a little bit and starting to warm things up around the studio. We have a potential, we'll put it on high alert, that we could have one of us going 5-0 again this season, and that would be moi. Hello.
Yeah, it's not me, but I'm glad you're carrying the weight once again. We'll put the picks up so everybody can take a look at them here. You're sitting at 4-0. Going into tonight, the Philadelphia Green Bay game. You're on the Eagles tonight. I'm sitting at 2-2. I have got the Eagles going tonight. And then the IT guy, he is sitting at 3-2. So he is done. So we all had potentially winning weeks. I'm hinging on the Eagles tonight to get me into the winning column, but a pretty good week for Blazing Five this week.
Yeah, finally, right? Like it's been a couple weeks. We've been frozen. Now as we're literally frozen, we're starting to warm up on the picks, so to speak. That's the Blazing Five. We're all Philly fans tonight. Pushed me to 5-0 for 2 weeks of the season to go 5-0. That's pretty special, and that'll basically pay for the season. So We're hoping that can cash again here tonight with Philly, albeit ultimately it's a 4-teamer for me. I couldn't play the Nebraska game. I didn't have the heart to do it in my actual 5-team parlay. So we just made it a 4, but we're still looking pretty tonight if Philly can get the job done. Next competition that we go into. The unthinkable has happened. First of all, we had a 3-way tie 2 weeks ago with literally 3 ties that were still in the running for Survivor. That got dwindled down to 2 after I made a miserable pick with the Green Bay Packers. And now we have a 2-way tie for first in Survivor because both ties lost this weekend in what was a upset-filled NFL Sunday.
Yeah, we had Buffalo as one pick, and Buffalo lost to Miami yesterday, unbelievably, 30-13. And then the other tie had Carolina. We thought that would be a bold move when he took at Carolina this week, and it was, as the Saints pulled off the upset over Carolina 17-7. So both of our finalists in Survivor lost yesterday. So I got the board together last night and discussed now what are we going to do. So we thought the easiest way to solve the winner of Survivor was to let the Ty Moritz and the Ty Sliker like an overtime period on Survivor. So they're going to go head-to-head again this week for the grand prize in Survivor. So we'll give them an overtime weekend. So they get to pick again this week to hopefully decide the winner of Survivor. We thought that would be the easiest and fairest way. So Ty Sliker and Ty Moritz is still into the finals of Survivor. We'll give them an overtime week this week. What is this, week number 10 or 11?
Yeah, 11, 10.
Of the NFL season. So those two guys will get to pick again, and we'll try to decide a Survivor after this weekend. But, wow, what a day yesterday in the NFL.
It was, upset Sunday. That was for sure. You take a look at the Buffalo game. There wasn't much to look into in that. Just a team that came out flat. And, I've said this about Buffalo and Kansas City. At times during the regular season, we come off that big matchup and all the hype and all the saga. Buffalo will play up to their opponent. They'll play up to a Baltimore. They'll play up to a Kansas City. They've proven it in the past. When it's big time game energy, Buffalo rises up to greet you. If it's in Miami, they'll stub their toe hard, and that's exactly what they did. They came out completely flat, unprepared, got out coached by a team that's literally just trying to a coach that's literally just trying to survive, and goes out and gets them. So full credit to Miami for coming out and kicking our ass. We needed that. Big numbers yesterday in the NFL. Fantasy football wise, I had in one of my leagues literally the best day that anybody could have asked for. If I would have been playing this in like the DraftKings set your lineup, would have probably nailed it down. In terms of the highest scores, Jonathan Taylor. If you're a Jonathan Taylor owner, you enjoyed 50-plus points from him as he went for 244, 3 tutties, even broke off an 82-yard run. So if you're playing in long league scoring formats, he gets you the bonus there. Then Ashney from Miami just had a day, and he got 40-plus points. I had one league where I scored 195 points.
Wow.
195.
That's impressive.
Thank you.
So
Shane says he's going to put the Bills in his Blazing 5 every week to apply the curse. I don't know if it was that, man. It was flat. It was ugly, but we move on. We'll bounce back next week. We always do.
The Colts picking up a win over Arizona yesterday in overtime. That was a game across the pond.
In Germany.
Yeah.
Way across the pond.
The Jets beating Cleveland yesterday, 27-20. Yeah, that was a real exciting one. Baltimore picked up a win over Minnesota, 27-19. Seattle outscored Arizona 44-22, and the Rams over San Francisco yesterday, 42-26. The late NFL game last night was won by the Chargers. They beat Pittsburgh 25-10. And tonight you get Philadelphia at Green Bay. Kickoff will be at 7:15. So those are just some of the highlights in the NFL from Saturday. Waking up with Mike
Sunday.
and Tyson. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, it's NFL Sunday. You said Saturday.
Oh, I was going to get to Saturday. That was NFL Sunday.
Saturday.
So
That was fun.
yeah, so Saturday, Nebraska wins over UCLA 28-21. TJ Lateef completed 13 of 15 passes, 205 yards, 3 touchdowns in his first career start. Emmett Johnson became the first Husker running back to have 100 yards rushing and receiving in the same game. He finished with 139 yards rushing, 28 carries, caught 3 passes for a career-high 103 yards. So the Huskers now 7-3. They'll be off this weekend. They'll play at Penn State on November the 22nd. So, okay, I'll take the guff from you. I'll go ahead and take the guff from you on TJ Lateef.
I'm just going to run a stat line by you. TJ Lateef, in his first career start, 13 of 15, as you mentioned, 205 yards, 3 tutties, 31 rushing yards. Lateef is the only true freshman in FBS history since at least 1995 to have a game with a minimum 15 passing attempts and put up those stats. A historic first act for a true freshman quarterback, who I told you was going to be just fine with a week of preparation. Told you to get off the cliff. Don't jump. Come back. We're going to be okay. It's going to be fine.
At one point, he was 11 for 11.
He didn't throw his first incomplete till the fourth quarter.
Yep, that's right.
He didn't throw his first incomplete pass until the fourth quarter. And it was, of course, right after I had just said, has he thrown an incomplete pass yet? And we were like, no, I don't think so. And then sure enough, his next pass was incomplete. But I'll take the guff on jinxing him. Just looked good. The offense, we were in control. Yes, it was a 28-21 ball game. Ultimately turned into a one-score game. But I never felt uncomfortable in that game. At no point did I ever say, oh, shit, we might lose. I felt like we were in control the entire day. And that was just a good display of ground and pound football. Keep the ball on the ground, eat up the clock, finish off your drives, no field goals. Overall, good performance for the Big Red.
But granted, it was against a team that was 3-5.
Had to win the game.
But UCLA has shown that they can play with some of the tougher teams around. Yeah, they were 3-5, and we'll see what happens for the rest of the season. But we did look better. I think we took a step forward again on Saturday.
I do
Everybody's feeling good. And now we got a week to kind of rest on this UCLA victory and get ready for the final couple of games of the season.
It's going to be a tough stretch. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Penn State took Indiana down to the wire. Probably should have won that football game. 2 unbelievable, miraculous catches from Indiana on their game-winning drive. The first one on the sidelines where they're able to toe tap, and then obviously the touchdown in the back of the end zone. If you watch that Penn State-Indiana game, that was thrilling football, and that was one I felt like Penn State put away and should have put away. And so you have a Penn State team coming in that has reorganized a little bit. They looked like they were getting back to Penn State football. Like, oh, we have a team full of dogs. Let's start acting like it. Head coach or not, James Franklin or not, miserable start or not, they look like a team that's going to finish the season and try to finish the season as strongly as possible and build upon for next year. So, yeah, we're going to need that bye week and get some guys healthy on the offensive line and get ready because Penn State's going to bring it. We're going to go to Happy Valley. Not an easy place to go. And so, yeah, is there a legitimate possibility that 7's the number? Absolutely, there is. But But let's find a way to play some winning football.
Then we got Iowa following that.
Iowa taking Oregon down to the wire.
Yep.
Oregon driving and kicking a last-second field goal to finish off the Iowa Hawkeyes, who as soon as Iowa scored that go-ahead touchdown, I said, there's a legitimate shot Iowa could be a playoff team. And then Oregon drives down the field, kicks the game-winning field goal. Iowa's not in the top 25, not in the conversation, but there was a legitimate path forward for Iowa to be a playoff team if they would have been able to beat Oregon. I think that would have opened up a lot of eyeballs. That Iowa team is really good. Might be one of the strongest that Kirk Ferentz has had in the last 10 years, which scares me even more with the fact that, they've had our number. And to this date, like, we can't call this Iowa matchup a rivalry because they've had our number. We're coming in underdogs the next 2 weeks, but we got to show up and play.
All right, so again, Nebraska will be off this weekend. Penn State at Penn State, and then host Iowa on Black Friday. So that's what's ahead for Nebraska. Amber's already chimed in. She says the more wins Nebraska gets, the warmer the bowl games get. And I think that's true. I think we pick up another win or two down the stretch here, and we're going to be basking in the sunshine come the holidays. If not, we could end up who knows where. The bowl game scenario, the projections are all over the place. I think I saw Vegas again pop up over the weekend, and that's a Las Vegas Bowl. But the bowl projections are really up in the air, determining on who makes the college football playoff or not. So that's still kind of up in the air.
Big question is now if the and this is real, and I don't want to sugarcoat this, and I don't want to make this political. But if the House can pass the resolution that was signed by the Senate, because if they don't, then you're not getting to the bowl game because transportation is not going to be a thing. So flights are a mess right now, man.
Yeah, they are.
I mean,
causing some problems. Nebraska had problems of getting to California over the weekend, but they finally got in there late on Friday. So we'll see what happens.
It's
here.
an issue. It's an issue, and it's going to start impacting college basketball with Big Ten play. If this resolution doesn't get signed, how are we flying teams across the country when we have no air traffic controllers? There's a lot of question marks and a lot of urgency, I think, in a lot of people in college sports to get these deals done in Washington just so that the teams can travel.
All right, just some of the things we're talking about here today. Again, 402-834-1330 is the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line. If you'd like to chime in with us, we got plenty of time to chat with you today. Give us a call. We'd love to have you join us here at the breakfast table, so to speak. If you'd like to leave us a message on the social media sites, we're monitoring those comments as well. So we've updated you on the Survivor, our Blazing Five, our reactions to the Nebraska football game from Saturday. The Nebraska volleyball team, as we mentioned, they just go on their little winning ways. Now they're 24-0 in the season. They go on the road and beat Minnesota in straight sets on Saturday, 25-15, 25-21, 25-20. Andy Jackson leads the way, season-high 15 kills. So Nebraska, now they will have to go on the West Coast swing this weekend. They'll play at UCLA on Friday and at USC on Sunday, but Nebraska volleyball still on top of the pack. They're at 24-0 in the season.
Isn't that where Hildebrand is now at USC? Former assistant to Nebraska.
Yeah, I think he's out.
He's over at USC, so that'll be an intriguing test. But watching the game Saturday afternoon, just feed Andy Jackson. Get her the ball on every opportunity. Lanphier had a good comeback game. Of course, Lanphier was the Minnesota transfer to join Nebraska. I thought she played well against her former school from the outside. You can look at the game and say, there was a couple times where we looked out of system, we looked out of rhythm, and maybe kind of, nitpick a little bit. But the reality is we took a top 25 team on the road, and we swept them in 3 straight. So Nebraska continues to flex, and that streak continues to just add on to what's already a pretty historic streak Nebraska for the Nebraska front. All these victories and all in straight sets. It's been remarkable to watch. So we'll see if the Huskers can keep it going this weekend. But that's my advice, just watching Andy Jackson. She's on another level. Just feed her the ball and let her do her thing.
Yeah, when you're hot, you're hot. Get her the ball. The Nebraska men's basketball team, they beat Florida International 96-66 on Saturday in Lincoln.
Triple-double.
Mass. Do what?
Triple-double.
Yeah, Reich Mass. Triple-double. The third one in school history, 18 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists. Price Sanford had a game-high 20 points for the Huskers. So Mast was the hero on Saturday. Head coach Fred Hoiberg talked about it after the ball game. He said, obviously, they executed their game plan to perfection in this one.
I thought our guys did a really good job getting the ball to Rink in the pocket, and they were blitzing our pick and roll, and we ran a little step-up action. They were pre-rotating to it a few times, but I thought our guys made good reads on the backside. We got a slash. We got Kale in open three on one of them. We got Braden in open three on another action. So I thought our guys really followed the game plan, and we were 15 assists to 3 turnovers at halftime. Got a little loose with it there at the end, but 29 assists, that's a pretty darn good number. And Rink's the catalyst. He's the guy out there making plays. It's fun to see Price get it going the way that he did with that little stretch that he had to open up the second half that, took the lead up to, 30 plus. So, just a really good game. That was one I had a lot of anxiety going into just because of their size, their length, their athleticism. It was good to see our guys go out and handle business.
So the Huskers now 2-0 in the season. They will play host to Maryland Eastern Shore tomorrow at 7. The Nebraska women's basketball team, they converted 27 turnovers into 29 points on Saturday, and their 80-46 win over Samford. Britt Prince led the way with 23 points, 2 assists, 2 steals. Nebraska now 2-0 in the season. They will host Creighton on Wednesday. Tip-off will be at 8 o'clock on FS1. So the Nebraska men's and women's basketball teams now 2-0 in the season for each team. They've got some tough games coming up this week, but a good start for the round ballers in Lincoln.
Brett Prince is, and argue and fight me if you want, one of the best basketball players in the country. We had the pleasure of seeing her in her high school career at Elkhorn North over in Class B, and seeing her at a couple games at State and what she had the potential to do. And after an amazing season for her freshman year, is just really taking the leadership role at the point position. Plays it so dominant, plays it so well. And I have her down as one of the best players in the country. She's a game changer when she's on the floor. Takes the lead. Yeah, 27 turnovers. That defense was ferocious, forcing Samford into a lot of uncomfortable situations and being able to take advantage of those turnovers. Yeah, forcing those turnovers is one thing, but converting them to points on the other end, that's when you got something special starting to brew. So, again, I know it's only Samford, but it looks real good for Nebraska. A lot of positivity and I think energy into our basketball teams as we move forward into Big Ten play coming up this year. A lot of times it's kind of the forgotten sport, right? You got volleyball and football, and those are the two bigs. And it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we have basketball too. This year, I think we're going to be having a little bit more conversation. I think our basketball teams are going to be extremely competitive, both on the men's and women's side of things. So we'll see if they can continue that as we move along.
All right, a couple other notes before we get to our news break. New York Giants rookie quarterback Jackson Dart suffered a concussion in the second half of yesterday's 24-20 loss to the Chicago Bears. Before leaving the game, he was 19 out of 29 for 242 yards and had 66 yards rushing on 6 carries with a pair of touchdowns. He became the first rookie quarterback in NFL history to record a rushing touchdown in 5 straight games. So Jackson Dart is going to be in the concussion protocol this week, and his status for this Sunday's game with the Green Bay Packers is unknown. So Jackson Dart on the injured list now here this week. We'll keep our eyeballs on him to see whether or not he can play on Sunday against the Packers.
Yeah, sorry, just gut punch after gut punch if you're a Giants fan. It was Cam Scattaboo. You know, you had that excitement with Scattaboo and Dart and what they were starting to show what that offense could be with some of this young talent. Obviously, the Scattaboo injury snaps the ankle, season's over. And then Jackson Dart with the concussion protocol. So, yep, you hope for the best for that kid so he can continue to get reps in and can continue to mature. So when he gets his boy back, that offense can get back at the beginning of next year. But going through that concussion protocol, and it's tough blow for Giants fans.
Then one other note I wanted to get to: Lenny Wilkins, who was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame both as a player and a coach. He died on Sunday at the age of 88. Wilkins won 1,332 games, the third most all-time as a coach of the Sonics, the Trailblazers, the Cavaliers, the Hawks, the Raptors, and the New York Knicks. He retired in 2005. He coached 2,487 games, the most in NBA history. He also won the Olympic gold medal as a coach for the 1996 U.S. Olympic basketball team. But Lenny Wilkins dies at the age of 88, one of the all-time great Hall of Fame coaches that we had around here in the NBA. So,
Paul Tagliabue died at the age of 84, former NFL commissioner from 1989 to 2006. So, kind of a tough day yesterday for some legends in the game.
All right, 7:26, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Again, if you'd like to chime in, something we've talked about so far today, or something on your mind, love to chat with you on the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line, 402-834-1330. Leave us a message if you like on our social media sites. We got a lot more to talk about here. Stay with us. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
We'll start off in Washington, where the Senate has voted 60-40 on a key step towards reopening the government. The vote came after a group of 8 Democrats reached a deal with Senate GOP leaders in the White House to reopen the government in exchange for a future vote on extending enhanced affordable care subsidies. The White House will have to return to, the House will have to return to adopt the deal struck in the Senate before it gets sent to the president's desk. The shutdown effects are being felt across the country. Ahead of the vote, the Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, said he believed air travel would be, quote, reduced to a trickle ahead of Thanksgiving, and the Department of Agriculture has ordered states to stop issuing full food stamp benefits after a Supreme Court move. Meanwhile, in Omaha at the Nebraska Democrats' Ben Nelson Gala, former President Joe Biden praised Democrats' nationwide election wins as a good start, saying the party is back. In his 30-minute speech, Biden criticized former President Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, and encouraged Nebraska Democrats to dream big ahead of the 2026 elections, including an open congressional seat in Omaha. The event marked one of Biden's few public appearances since the fallout from dropping out of the 2024 election cycle. Party Chair Jane Klebb said Biden agreed to attend because of his longstanding connections to Nebraska Democrats. It is coming up on 7:29. We'll head over to the East Side Studios. Here's Mike with your quick check on sports.
Yeah, Ohio State still ranked number 1 in the latest AP college football poll. The Buckeyes now 9-0 in the season after Saturday's 34-10 win over Purdue. Indiana is second, followed by Texas A&M, Alabama, and Georgia. Rounding out the top 10 are Ole Miss, Oregon, Texas Tech, Notre Dame, and Texas. USC is 17th, and Michigan is 18th. The Hastings College men's basketball team picked up their first win of the season with an 80-65 win over Oklahoma City University on Saturday in the Cattle Classic in Seward. Deron Hall had 21 points for the Broncos. Hastings will open the conference season on Saturday against Dakota Wesleyan. Peyton Tanner scored the game-winning goal in overtime as the Hastings College women's soccer team beat Concordia 2-1 on Saturday in the semifinals of the GPAC tournament. The Broncos will host Dort in the tournament championship game on Wednesday beginning at 7. The defenders beat Mount Marty 3-0 in the other semifinal game. We'll have that championship game for you on Extreme Sports on Wednesday, beginning with a pregame show at 6:45. The UNK men's basketball team went 1-2 in the D2 CCA basketball tip-off in Billings, Montana. The UNK women went 2-1 in that same tournament. The UNK volleyball team beat Washburn on Friday, but then lost to Emporia State on Saturday. The Lopers will host Northwest Missouri on Thursday. First serve will be at 6 o'clock. Amherst beat Overton in 5 games to win the Class D1 state volleyball tournament championship on Saturday. The other winners included Papillion, La Vista South, Norris, Milford, Freeman, and Wynot. And the semifinals are set in the state high school football playoffs. In Class A Friday night, Millard South will play at Omaha Westside, and Papillion La Vista South is at Omaha Creighton Prep. In Class B, it's Bennington at Waverly and Gretna at Gretna East. In Class C1, Ashland Greenwood will be at Wahoo, and Sydney will play at Columbus Lakeview. In Class C2, Ord is at Grand Island Central Catholic, and Kearney Catholic is at Bishop Newman. In Class D1, Crofton will be at Shelby Rising City, and Plainview will play at Sandy Creek. In Class D2, St. Mary's will be at Howells Dodge, and Wynot will play at Central Valley. And in 6-man football, Stewart will be at Garden County on Friday, and Southwest will play at Red Cloud. And again, in the late NFL football game played last night, the LA Chargers beat Pittsburgh by a score of 25-10. Tonight, it's Philadelphia at Green Bay. Kickoff will be at 7:15. That's a check in your sports headlines here this morning at 7:32 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
On this Monday, the chilliest temperatures of the season so far are upon us. We got to the teens for overnight lows, 13 degrees in Hastings, about 7 o'clock this morning. Anyway, highs today in the low to mid 40s, plenty of sunshine, 32 overnight tonight with increasing clouds. And we'll start off Veterans Day Tuesday morning with more clouds, but partially clearing skies and a high of 69. And 60s will stick around the rest of the week. That's a check of your forecast.
Right now, as you wake up, get going, we've got northwest winds at 4 miles per hour. It is clear. It is 15 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
At Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center in Hastings, you can now experience the Balancer Pro lymphatic system, a relaxing, touchless treatment that works while you simply sit back. Using the principles of manual lymphatic drainage, it helps flush out swelling, reduce toxins, ease muscle soreness, and promote total body wellness. Whether you're recovering from surgery, looking to contour and tone, aiming for weight loss, or just wanting to feel lighter and more energized, the Balancer Pro lymphatic system delivers results you can feel immediately. Perfect for athletes, post-op recovery, detox, or anyone who just wants to look and feel their best, because it's for everybody with a body. Come try it today at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at hamnis.com.
The holidays are starting to bloom at Bob Sass Flowers. Discover festive floral arrangements, cozy seasonal home decor, and perfect gifts for everyone on your list. From seasonal stems to scented candles and ornaments, everything you need to make your home merry and bright is right here. Don't miss our holiday sale Monday through Saturday, November 10th through the 15th. We are open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5, and Saturday, November 15th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. We will have 20% off savings store-wide. Save on gifts and home decor for the holidays. Join us for our annual Ladies' Night Out November 11th from 5 to 8 p.m. at our store in Hastings. We will have pop-up shops IME Boutique, the Tribe Boutiques Charm Bar, Back Alley Bakery's food truck, and Sweet Herb Sourdough Bakery. Come for a night full of shopping and fun. Bob Sass Flowers is located at 2618 West 2nd Street in Hastings, serving Hastings since 1955.
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you.
All right, Mike Wills, Heinzen and Bronick with you. You're listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Again, thanks for joining us, whether you're listening to us on our website at x-streamsports.com, maybe on your smartphone with our free mobile app, your smart speaker, Roku TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you're listening to us here this morning. Thanks for joining us as we begin yet another week. Let's talk a little Husker football, shall we? The Huskers, again, picking up a win over UCLA on Saturday, 28-21. Following the game, Husker head coach Matt Rule said he was proud of his team.
I just can't speak enough to our guys. You know, they're battered, they're beat up. It's been a long, hard season. We have a bunch of guys, back home, and yet they went out there and they competed. It wasn't perfect, but it was really good, And I encouraged them. I thought about all the, I saw the injury report tonight and all the guys that are out. Obviously Dylan's out, Gunner's out, Teddy's out. And you go all the way back to like Janirin and all those guys. Just how many guys have fought for us this year and how much we care about them. I encourage them all just to send a text to those guys. I mean, Dylan was texting me before the game, like, hey, I got my call sheet in front of me. Make sure we do this, and this. So just blessed to be a part of a team that has that type of character. And I just have to praise TJ. I mean, that was just fantastic. And if you have any idea how we feel about him, at the end of the game on the line, we're throwing the football. A lot of people wouldn't do that, but we're doing that. And it's because he's earned that. It's not something I don't believe that you give people confidence. They earn it and they deserve it. And he has practiced hard all season long and worked hard all season long. And on the flip side, some people won't probably know, but obviously McCullough was out tonight, and Dylan Rogers went in there. And Dylan's been waiting to start him for 3 years. And, just kind of an old school kid, like doesn't come in and complain, just works hard on specialty teams. Played 9 plays last week and did pretty well, and went out there and played the whole game tonight. So really good to see guys stepping up late in the season, developing, not trying to take the easy way out. And that was a great team win. And anytime, obviously our O-line, sometimes they bear the brunt of some things, to go out there with, I don't know how much time we got the clock ball left, like 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes, whatever it was at the end, 5 minutes. But to be able to run the clock down and take a knee on someone else's field is really hard to do in the Big Ten. And so I thought Emmett was outstanding. Just really proud.
And the coach also talked about getting TJ Lateef ready for his first career start as a Husker. Obviously there were a couple of zone read type plays that were in the game plan, but not a ton.
I think that where you saw that impact was in the first play of the game was his zone read. So a team like UCLA that wants to come out and play man, and what people have been doing against us is playing a lot of man and pressuring. The quarterback, there's not a man for the quarterback typically, right? And so I thought early on when we did a couple of those plays, that forced them to play more quarters, and that we were able to just run the football. And it allowed us to, we knew that when we dropped back to throw it, there might be times where he did run. And but that would be a weapon. And so we didn't change anything really. I mean, we kind of took the plays we thought would work versus UCLA, and also that we think he does really well, and let him rip. And there wasn't a time where I thought he was not on time or trying to do too much. I mean, we kept calling play action passes, and he was checking to the run, and I mean, just something mature, really mature version of a young player.
And the coach says that T.J. Lateef is actually a triple threat quarterback, not a dual threat, but a triple threat quarterback.
You've got an arm, you've got feet, and you've got a brain. And I think that's really important. It's like you don't want to just go out there and run around and create havoc. I mean, he made the right checks, the right plays. He was really professional. Glenn did a great job, not just this week. You can't get a guy ready this week. It's the whole season, right? And it's really, Dylan's mentoring the whole season. What Dylan's done for TJ and just, embracing him and bringing him in the fold, I think, has allowed TJ and pushed TJ to this point where, he was more than ready for that moment.
So there you go. Matt Rule following the Huskers' victory over UCLA on Saturday, 28-21. Got the weekend off, getting ready for Penn State on November the 22nd. So a good career start for T.J. Lateef. We'll talk about that in the first half hour. A lot of people I was with on this Saturday said, now what do we do? Obviously, Dylan is not going to be ready this season. He will next year. Now what do we do? T.J. Lateef and Dylan Raiola.
Hey, you got two weapons on your offense. If you can find a way to keep both options happy and healthy, you have an additional weapon that you can plug in and play at any given time. I've said it for all season long. I thought that at any point both quarterbacks could have been in the backfield, and you can draw up some schemes and sets and find a way to make it work. Listen, you got the improvement that we saw from going in unprepared, without a game plan, basically 7 plays that TJ could run in the second half against USC, versus what he had when he had a full week and rep in practice. And you saw what the numbers that he put up in his first career start. The efficiency was insane. Like 11 for 11 for the first 3 quarters, was throwing, literally batting 1,000 with his passing percentage. Now we get to see him come in after 2 weeks because you get the bye week. So you would imagine that he takes another step forward and then off to Iowa and then to the postseason for the bowl game.
Then what?
What do you do? Is you let these guys battle it out. You let these guys play it out in the offseason. And you're going to go with the guy that's going to win you games. And at the end of the day, that's going to be a coaching decision.
So can you keep the other guy happy during the offseason? Does all of a sudden, if the Nebraska coaching staff, who has favored Dylan Raiola, obviously, here so far this season, if they go back to him as your starting quarterback, does T.J. Lateef enter the transfer portal? Possibility.
Yeah, possibility.
Come January, after the bowl game is over, if he's getting the indication that Dylan's going to be ready to go next year and the coaches are going back to Dylan Raiola as a starting quarterback, T.J. Lateef could say, screw you. I'm into the transfer portal. I'm going to be a starting quarterback somewhere else. They've got film on me now. Check me out at UCLA. I played the whole game. And look at the numbers that he put up. His resume all of a sudden looks real good to a lot of Division I.
His resume was looking good before he even stepped on the field. I mean,
I know, but he still was a freshman, a true freshman. But now he's got some playing time.
Results are results. If he goes out there and gets the job done and continues to get the job done, he's going to force the coaching staff to make a decision.
I'm concerned.
Yeah, well,
I'm concerned come the offseason if we go back to Dylan, or if we get on TJ's bandwagon. Is Dylan
Dylan's out, right?
Enter the transfer portal come January.
Same thing.
Yep.
I just don't.
I don't know if we can keep both players happy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You got to be able to make that a timeshare. Ultimately, I think you got to keep a weapon like TJ around, and I think you got to keep him happy, and I think you got to get him involved in the game plan and put him in some offensive sets and snaps. So yeah, that's on Rule. That's a really good problem to have. I'm glad we're having this discussion, that we've got two really good quarterbacks sitting in that quarterback room. And I think, when you look down and you look at Power 5 conferences, I think they're going to say the same thing. A lot of coaches have had to have that. That's the problem with being successful, is you're going to get to some high-level recruits, and those high-level recruits are going to want playing time. And if they don't get their playing time in today's day and age, they can just say, well, I'm not getting my reps here. I'm going to get my reps here. At the end of the day, it's down to kind of your personal mentality. Do you want to be a part of something special? Do you want to be a part of championship football on a continuous level? And if so, you got to stick it out. So yeah, we'll see how it all shakes out. I think there is concern about your starting quarterback. I think it's going to be an open competition. I think it should be an open competition. But at the end of the day, your starting quarterback's just going to be the guy that goes out on the field first, right? And if you can find a way to put both of these guys in and get them some reps, and I know a lot of people don't like the idea of dual quarterbacks and interchanging quarterbacks based on offensive sets, but he's on the field. He's a weapon. His wheels are a weapon. His brain is a weapon. You just heard it. Triple threat, right? Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the offseason all plays out, but my first inclination is find a way to keep them both happy and both on the roster.
And our experiment with Heinrich Harburg, taking a snap here or there, is not working.
Just change his position.
Well, he's a tight end, but
yep.
But him going back and taking a snap or two during the game, it's stuffed on every single play.
Just
everybody knows that he's out there.
Yep.
And when he's in the game, everybody knows that they're going to get that ball in his hands, and if he goes over and takes a snap under center, he's going to run the ball.
Yep.
And that experiment is not working. So take that out of the playbook. Just my thoughts. He ran it Saturday night. I just kind of shook my head.
Yep.
I knew it was coming even before the play was run. And he ran the play, and it was stuffed for like -2 yards.
It's all right.
I know it's all right, but take it out of the playbook. It's not working.
Give Emmett Johnson a little bit of a breather.
But we got other running backs in the running back room.
What did I say? 30 carries for Emmett Johnson. I think he had 28 on
28.
the day.
Yeah, 28.
Yep. I mean, you're going to have to rest his legs at some point, and you also want to get that guy some reps because he's earned it, But I'm with you. We could probably find other ways to get him involved in the game plan, and I think that under center is probably not that spot for him.
Just my thought. I thought that play is not working, folks.
Albeit, though, a good win, a comfortable win, and anytime you go on the road, albeit it was very much kind of a home advantage over there at the Rose Bowl. Their attendance was awful. I think what they say it was the highest attendance that they've had, which was still sad. And 2/3 were Nebraska fans.
Yeah,
So,
I think it was. We
good
kind of
effort.
talked about that last week, that we would at least even their home crowd, which was 30,000. I think we looked up last week. Their average attendance was 30,000. But yeah, they had their biggest crowd ever for a Big Ten game. That was because we traveled so well that Nebraska people found a flight to get out there.
Going to hit the comment section up really quick to clean some stuff up. Chief Endorf saying, "Go Big Blue." He's all aboard the Crusader bandwagon as they get set for their rematch with Ord. I think they went up to Ord during the regular season, and that was their lone loss. So an opportunity to play for a state championship. What a turnaround from Jeff Ashby and getting involved. And he's everywhere he's gone, man. He's a winner. You heard Bob Jensen talk about it earlier. when the playoffs were just getting underway. But I remember being a part of that thing for year one from the broadcast booth perspective and just our conversations, and a very emphatic Coach Toad Schroeder, who had came up and during the post game after their last loss of the regular season, which ultimately put him out of the playoffs. And he just, I mean, I've never seen a man that had more confidence in his team and what they were going to eventually build into. And he looked me straight in the face, and Toad said, "We're coming. We're coming. So hop on board and enjoy the ride." Well, now they've arrived. Now they're here at the semifinal stage. Should be an electric atmosphere at Memorial Stadium for that semifinal matchup. Also saying that the Steelers offense missed the memo that there was a game last night. Yeah, I think a lot of offenses were in the same boat. Buffalo looked miserable, like they had no offensive game plan going in whatsoever. And it was clunky from the start, and so Buffalo drops, Pittsburgh drops. Got to show up every week, man.
Yeah,
it's the grind of the NFL season.
Aaron Rodgers, I forgot what his numbers were, but he had like his worst night as a professional quarterback last night in the ball game. So Aaron Rodgers could not get the Steelers to victory, although Pittsburgh still's got their head above water as far as their record is concerned. I forgot what their record was. I have it here somewhere in my morning notes, but they're still above the 500 mark.
West is looking good, though. Like, that's got to be a concern. Take Thursday night's game out of the equation. You know, Denver, Los Angeles, Kansas City.
Everybody but the Raiders.
Everybody but Vegas. How Pete Carroll still has a job is beyond me. There's been so many times where I've thought he should have been fired at halftime. That experiment, and it was an experiment, bringing Pete Carroll out to Vegas to reunite with Geno, that has not worked. That was a bad experiment, and they need to reverse course.
I think they fired one of their coordinators last week, and I think that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
I think Carroll will survive this year, but I think there's going to be a lot of people off of his staff that get axed at the end of the year, and then maybe give Pete one more year to prove himself out there, and then they'll railroad him out of town.
He's not. I don't have a lot of faith he can get it done. There's way too much build on that roster that needs to happen. So I don't see it working out for old Pete.
Good old Pete. All right, 7:52. Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is a Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Well, all eyes in Washington this week as the Senate has voted 60-40 on a key step towards reopening the government. The vote coming after a group of 8 Democrats reaching a deal with Senate GOP leaders in the White House to reopen the government in exchange for a future vote on extending enhanced affordable care subsidies. The House will have to return to adopt the deal struck in the Senate before it gets sent to the president's desk. The shutdown effects are being felt across the country, from travel to food insecurity. Ahead of the vote, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said he believed air travel would be reduced to a trickle ahead of Thanksgiving, and the Agriculture Department has ordered states to stop issuing full food stamp benefits after a Supreme Court move. Meanwhile, in Omaha at the Nebraska Democratic Party's Ben Nelson Gala, former President Joe Biden was in attendance, praising Democrats' nationwide election wins as a good start and saying the party is back. In his 30-minute speech, Biden criticized President Donald Trump and encouraged Nebraska Democrats to dream big ahead of the 2026 elections, including an open congressional seat in Omaha. The event marked one of Biden's few public appearances since the fallout from dropping out of the 2024 election cycle. Party Chair Jane Clubb says Biden agreed to attend because of his long-standing connection to Nebraska Democrats. 7:54, 6 minutes until 8 o'clock. Let's head over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going on in sports?
Ohio State still ranked number 1 in the latest AP college football poll. The Buckeyes are now 9-0 on the season. after Saturday's 34-10 win over Purdue. Indiana is second, followed by Texas A&M, Alabama, and Georgia. Running out the top 10 are Ole Miss, Oregon, Texas Tech, Notre Dame, and Texas. USC is 17th, and Michigan is 18th. The Nebraska football team now 7-3 on the season after Saturday's 28-21 win over UCLA. TJ Lateef completed 13 of 15 passes for 205 yards and 3 touchdowns in his first career starts, while Emmett Johnson became the first Husker running back to have 100 yards rushing and receiving in the same game. Johnson finished with 139 yards rushing on 28 carries and caught 3 passes for a career-high 103 yards. Nebraska will be out this weekend. They'll play at Penn State on November the 22nd. The Nebraska volleyball team swept Minnesota on Saturday in Minneapolis. The scores were 25-15, 25-21, 25-20. Andy Jackson led the way with a season-high 15 kills. Nebraska now 24-0 in the season, 14-0 in the Big Ten. They'll play at UCLA on Friday and at USC on Sunday. The Nebraska men's basketball team beat Florida International 96-66 on Saturday in Lincoln. Reich Mast recorded a triple-double. That's only the third triple-double in school history with 18 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists. Bryce Sanford had a game-high 20 points for the Huskers. Nebraska now 2-0 in the season. They'll play host to Maryland Eastern Shore tomorrow at 7. The Nebraska women's basketball team converted 27 turnovers into 29 points on Saturday in their 80-46 win over Sanford. Brent Prince led the way with 23 points, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Nebraska now 2-0 in the season. They will host Creighton on Wednesday. Tip-off will be at 8 o'clock on FS1. Again, in the late NFL game last night, the Los Angeles Chargers beat Pittsburgh 25-10. Tonight, it's Philadelphia at Green Bay. Kickoff will be at 7:15. That's a check on your sports headlines at 7:56 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
On this Monday, the chilliest temperatures of the season so far are upon us. We got to the teens for overnight lows, 13 degrees in Hastings, about 7 o'clock this morning. Anyway, highs today in the low to mid-40s, plenty of sunshine, 32 overnight tonight with increasing clouds. And we'll start off Veterans Day Tuesday morning with more clouds, but partially clearing skies and a high of 69. And 60s will stick around the rest of the week. That's a check of your forecast.
Right now, we've got northwest winds at 4 miles per hour. It is clear. It is 15 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
At Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center in Hastings, you can now experience the Balancer Pro lymphatic system, a relaxing, touchless treatment that works while you simply sit back. Using the principles of manual lymphatic drainage, it helps flush out swelling, reduce toxins, ease muscle soreness, and promote total body wellness. Whether you're recovering from surgery, looking to contour and tone, aiming for weight loss, or just wanting to feel lighter and more energized, the Balancer Pro lymphatic system delivers results you can feel immediately. Perfect for athletes, post-op recovery, detox, or anyone who just wants to look and feel their best, because it's for everybody with a body. Come try it today at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Have you checked the time lately? Good chance a Miletta Vista Winery is open. Hey, this is Mick with an update on our new hours. Tuesday through Sunday, we're open 11:30 to 3, and Fridays and Saturdays 11:30 till 9. Not sure what you want to enjoy when you get here? Well, Miletta Vista features award-winning wine, select beer, spirits, world-class foods, breathtaking views, and live entertainment. Visit MilettaVistaWinery.com. Check out our events page for music schedules and more. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook. Make your reservations now at Miletta Vista Winery, located on Highway 281, just north of St. Paul.
All right, Mike Wills, Heinz and Veronica with you. It's a Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Get our broadcast schedule this week. Wednesday, we'll have the GPAC Championship for women's soccer as Hastings College will take on Dort out at Lloyd Wilson Field. That one gets underway at 7. There with a pregame at about 6:45 on Wednesday. Friday night, we'll have the semifinals of the Class D1 State High School football playoffs. It'll be Sandy Creek taking on Plainview back on the hill at Sandy Creek, 7 o'clock, or actually 6 o'clock for the kickoff on Friday with a pregame show at about 5:45. Then on Saturday, Hastings College will wrap up the regular season for football on the road at Dakota Wesleyan. That game will kick off at 1 on the air with Pigskin Preview at 12 o'clock noon on Saturday. Plus, we have got the opening of the conference basketball season for the Broncos. They will host Dakota Wesleyan at Lynn Farrell Arena on Saturday. Women's game will be at 2. Guys will play at about 3:45. We'll have the action on Extreme Sports 2 Saturday afternoon, beginning with a pregame at about 1:45. So a little mix of soccer, high school football, college football, and college basketball all coming here this week on your home for sports here. Extreme Sports.
There we go.
Get you started with some basketball, college basketball on the Saturday afternoon. It's kind of ironic. We open up the conference basketball season with Dakota Wesleyan at home. Football team will get to make the trip to Mitchell, take on the Tigers up there. So
going to the Corn Palace.
Yeah, we're going to Mitchell on Saturday.
Is it still there?
What, Corn Palace?
Corn Palace?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll play there later on this season for basketball. Like February. There's nothing like driving to South Dakota in February. Be a great time. Maybe one of those trips that you might want to hop in the buggy with me.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, in February. It's a nice trip.
So I think I'm good, man. Thanks, though.
Yeah, thanks for
you
the
know
offer.
me, man. I'm not a good travel partner. So
yeah, that's what you told me last week. Now that I said that, I said, no, you told me last week you hate cars.
I hate riding in cars.
4.5 hours is not your gig, huh?
No.
Not your gig. We'll keep you closer to home.
Unless we can, stop at a few breweries on the way.
Well, there's not a whole lot to stop at between here and Mitchell.
So it would be even worse.
Our most favorite restaurant, it's not between here and there, so we can't stop there. I was just discussing that as I was trying to put my travel plans together for this weekend. It looks like maybe the convenience store in O'Neill might be our supper.
Oof.
Our supper stop.
Gas station burgers.
Yeah. Maybe a dog or two that's been on the roller for most of the day.
Hope Dr. Reimer's not listening to the show.
Well, what else do you... There's no place in between.
It's the diet of the sports people, man.
Yeah, there's no place in between.
Yeah,
where are we going to stop?
What do you eat so unhealthy for? I'm like, have you ever had to travel Highway 2 at 12 o'clock at night?
No, you go into the convenience stores.
What's available. Yeah. You
That
find one of those
hot dog.
24/7 stores, and you just pop in, and you're like, all right, well, how long's this been there? And they're like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And you're like, screw it.
Yeah, eat it. That hot dog has been twirling around since they put it on there at 6 a.m. in the morning.
Gross.
I know it might be 8 o'clock at night, but it should be done by then.
God would hope, right?
God, so anyway, that's what's coming up this week as far as sports is concerned. Obviously, we'll talk a lot this week with the Huskers being off. We'll still hear from the coaches this week, but maybe not as regularly as we hear them during the regular season when they have games, but they'll still be before us a couple of times, so we'll keep up to date on what's going on there, keep you up to date on everything else going on. If you'd like to listen to the show again, you can download the podcast, any one of our social media sites, listen to the show or portions of the show again. And a reminder to be back again tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock for Extreme Sports and Huddle Up. Have yourself a great day.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every